10 known myths. 1. The Great Wall of China. The myth that the Great Wall of China is the only man-made structure visible from space is not true. While the Great Wall is an impressive and iconic structure, it is not visible from space with the naked eye. In fact, several other man-made structures are visible from space, including large airports, highways, and bridges. But you can't see these structures from very high up with the naked eye. 2. Napoleon Bonaparte was short. Napoleon Bonaparte, who was a French statesman and military leader during the late 18th and early 19th centuries, was not particularly short. He was about 5 feet, 6 inches tall, which was considered average and more height for a man during that time period. In fact, Napoleon was taller than the average Frenchman at the time and was often described as being of medium height. The myth that he was short may have originated from the fact that he was often depicted in paintings and sculptures as being shorter than he actually was, possibly to make him appear more imposing. 3. Piranhas are aggressive flesh-eating fish. The myth that all piranhas are aggressive flesh-eating fish is not entirely true. While piranhas are certainly predatory fish that are capable of attacking and eating other animals, they are not necessarily aggressive towards humans. In fact, piranhas are primarily found in the Amazon River and its tributaries in South America, and attacks on humans are relatively rare. Piranhas are omnivorous, which means that they eat both plants and animals. They primarily feed on smaller fish, insects, and crustaceans, but they will also eat fruit and seeds if they are available. Piranhas are known for the sharp teeth and powerful jaws, which they use to tear flesh from their prey. However, they are not typically aggressive towards humans and will only attack if they feel threatened or if they are provoked. It is important to note that piranhas are wild animals and should be treated with caution. It is not recommended to swim in piranha-infested waters or to try to handle them. However, they are not the ferocious predators that they are often portrayed as in popular media and are not a threat to humans under normal circumstances. 4. Humans only use 10% of their brains. The myth that humans only use 10% of their brains is not true. This myth has been widely circulated for many years, but it has no scientific basis. In fact, the vast majority of the brain is active and engaged in various functions at any given time. There is no scientific evidence to support the idea that humans have unused or underutilized areas of the brain. Studies have shown that all areas of the brain are active and play important roles in various cognitive, sensory, and motor functions. It is not possible to use only a small portion of the brain and still be able to function normally. The myth that humans only use 10% of their brains may have originated from the fact that we do not fully understand how the brain works and the many complex processes that are involved in cognitive function. However, this does not mean that we are only using a small portion of our brains. In reality, the brain is a highly complex and sophisticated organ that is active and engaged in many functions at all times. 5. Bats are blind. While some species of bats do have poor eyesight, many species of bats have good vision and are able to see well in both daylight and darkness. Bats are a diverse group of animals, and their eyesight is very different from one to the next. Some species of bats, such as fruit bats, have relatively good eyesight and are able to see colors and shapes clearly. Other kinds of bats, like those that eat insects, have worse eyesight and rely more on their hearing to find food and get around. However, many species of bats have highly developed senses of hearing and use echolocation to navigate and locate prey. Echolocation is a process by which bats emit high-pitched sounds and listen for the echoes that bounce off of objects in their environment. This allows them to build a mental map of their surroundings and to locate prey even in complete darkness. 6. The heads of ostriches are buried in the sand. It is not true that ostriches bury their heads in the sand when threatened. This myth is most likely based on ostriches' long necks, which they frequently bend down to feed on plants or drink water. When confronted with danger, ostriches usually attempt to flee. In fact, ostriches are extremely fast runners and can outrun most predators. If they are unable to flee, they use their powerful legs to defend themselves. They are the world's largest and heaviest birds, and they have the ability to deliver powerful kicks that can be dangerous to others. 7. Cats have 9 lives. The myth that all cats have 9 lives. This myth likely originated from the belief that cats are mysterious and have a special connection to the supernatural. It is a popular superstition that has been around for many centuries. In reality, cats have the same lifespan as other domesticated animals and do not have any extra lives. Cats are living creatures, just like any other animal, and they are subject to the same laws of nature. The myth that cats have 9 lives may have originated from the fact that cats are often able to survive falls and accidents that would be deadly for other animals. Cats are known for their agility and flexibility, and may have a natural instinct to land on their feet when they fall from a height. It is important to note that cats are vulnerable to the same hazards and dangers as any other animal, and they should be treated with care and respect. They do not have any special powers or abilities that allow them to cheat death. 8. The Earth is flat. While this myth has been debunked for centuries, there is still a small group of people who believe that the Earth is flat. The Earth is an oblate spheroid, which means that it is slightly flattened at the poles and bulges at the equator. Several ways of measuring, such as satellite images, global positioning systems, and measurements made on the surface of the Earth, have shown that this is true. The idea that the Earth is flat has been debunked for centuries, and there is overwhelming scientific evidence to support the fact that the Earth is a sphere. But there is still a small group of people who believe that the Earth is flat. The ancient Greeks were the first to propose that the Earth is a sphere, and this idea was later supported by the work of scientists and astronomers throughout history. The myth that the Earth is flat may have originated from the fact that it appears flat when viewed from the ground. However, as people began to explore and study the Earth more closely, it became clear that the Earth is actually a 3-dimensional object with a curved surface. 9. Christopher Columbus discovered America. Not true. The myth that Christopher Columbus discovered America is a widely held belief that has been perpetuated for centuries. However, historical fact does not support this myth. In reality, Columbus was not the first European to reach the Americas. The first known European to arrive in the Americas was a Norse explorer named Leif Erikson, who is believed to have arrived in present-day Newfoundland, Canada, around the year 1000. However, his voyage was not widely known or documented at the time, and it was not until the arrival of Christopher Columbus in the late 15th century. But they didn't discover America. America was not empty. Indigenous peoples, such as the Native Americans, had already been living in the Americas for thousands of years before Columbus arrived. Columbus's expeditions to the Americas, which took place in the late 15th and early 16th centuries, were sponsored by the Catholic monarchs of Spain and were intended to find a westward route to the East Indies. Columbus's voyages resulted in the accidental discovery of the Americas, which he referred to as the New World. Despite the fact that Columbus was not the first person to discover the Americas, he has long been celebrated as the discoverer of the New World. Columbus Day, a holiday celebrated in the United States, commemorates Columbus's arrival in the Americas in 1492. However, Columbus's legacy has been the subject of much controversy and debate, as he and his men engaged in acts of violence and exploitation against the indigenous peoples they encountered during their voyages. 10. George Washington had wooden teeth. It is a widely held belief that has persisted for centuries. However, historical facts do not support this myth. While it is true that Washington had dental problems and lost many of his teeth during his lifetime, he did not have wooden teeth. Washington's dental problems were a common issue in the 18th century, as dental hygiene was not as advanced as it is today. Many people suffer from tooth decay and loss due to a lack of proper care and a diet high in sugar. Despite the fact that Washington did not have wooden teeth, the myth that he did have persisted for centuries. The myth likely arose from the fact that he had several sets of dentures, which were made from a variety of materials, including animal teeth and ivory. However, they were not made of wood.